Hello there, and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. I'm, of course, George. Welcome along to the channel, everybody. And we are reacting to a 3-0 Leeds United home win, our first home win of the new season. 8 games old is the new season now, of course, and a 3-0 win. And let's be honest, it was as comfortable as they come. The ketchup bottle burst all over the Watford goal, didn't it? In the end, as Daniel Fark said, it was shaking up a ketchup bottle and nothing coming out in that first half. But Leeds had to be patient, and the goals finally flowed, and it was a comfortable win in the end. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on this, as you've probably seen a lot of other people give their thoughts on this in this video. Just a quick note on the channel. Obviously, the channel, bit of housekeeping, as people say, don't they? I've rebranded the channel, so I've had a new I've done myself a new logo. So check that out and let me know what you think about that. Thought it was a little bit more Leeds United, you know what I mean? I wanted to incorporate our club's colours and everything like that inside the new logo. So an early season sort of logo change for me, but maybe I'll keep that for quite some time now. Yeah, but yeah, let's get on to the match review then. And yeah, first of all, the starting lineup, 4 changes for Leeds, 2 in the defence. Obviously, one was, it had to happen. It was a forced change. Rodon was suspended. He comes back into the squad for the game against Southampton on Saturday, but he was suspended. So Liam Cooper came in. Fark plumbed for Shackleton on the right hand side instead of Luke Ayling. And we saw a first start for Leeds United for recently signed centre midfielder Glenn Kamara. And then the other change was Somerville, wasn't he, in for Nonto, because Nonto is obviously injured. No further news yet, I don't think, or I haven't seen anything. Let me know in the comments if Fark or anybody else has said anything about Nonto's injury, the extent of it. But I don't think anything's been said as of yet. But he obviously dropped out. Somerville started from the start this time. Came on early in the whole game, didn't he? But um, yeah, he started this one and he looked bright, in the early knockings of the game. Leeds did, they were first to every ball. They were winning the aerial duels. They were just on it, weren't they? On it from the off, without really playing well. And I felt the final third pass was lacking a little bit. The finishing obviously was lacking a little bit in terms of obviously putting it in the net. And occasionally I felt we picked out the wrong pass and things like that. But it was complete dominance. Let's not kid ourselves. It was complete dominance. Absolutely, from the first minute, Leeds were on it. Like I said, winning the first balls, winning the second balls, winning aerial duels against their men, just all over the pitch. Quick counter-attacking football. Once we won the ball, if Watford were on the attack or in the middle of the park, win the ball, and then as soon as you've got it, straight up the pitch, looking for forward men and forward thinking players and trying to get us into good areas. And they did. They got into some good areas in the first half. I've seen so many people say the goalkeeper had a good game for Watford. For me, I think that the only one it was a good save was Ampadu. I think that shot early doors from Ethan Ampadu. The rest pretty pretty easy. He's an international, highly experienced goalkeeper. That lad Bachmann, Austrian international. It's easy pickings. It's meat and drink, isn't it? For goalkeepers, those couple of that one from Jorginho Ruta. I don't know what he's done there. How he's not put more on it to put it in the goal. And then Crescencio Somerville, either go with your left foot or wrap your foot round it. I mean, why has he poked it? For me, easy saves. That Ruta one were just come on now, put some force behind it, and you probably got it in the net. He just tapped it to the goalkeeper. For me, saves he should be making if he's that sort of level goalkeeper. But Watford, A word on Watford, and any Watford fans who find yourself watching this, which you probably won't, because you got heavily beaten and comprehensively beaten, so why would you watch me? But are you usually that bad? I mean, it's incredible. It was probably the worst team I've ever seen. Now it's probably a bit harsh that because every team, if you beat them 3-0, every team's the worst team you've seen. The latest game, but it, in recent memory, obviously we've been playing it obviously in the Premier League, and the quality is much higher. You can really see that because none of the eight teams that we've faced so far have impressed me at all. A jot, absolutely zero. Even Birmingham, who beat us, it was off a last minute penalty. They weren't exactly, you know, prime Brazil, were they? You know what I mean? And Watford were just not good, not good at all. I thought their lad Rajovic, is he Danish? He's come from Sweden, playing in Sweden, Swedish football. I thought initially I marked him out as a little bit of a danger man, possibly. And maybe even Tom Ince on his day can do something, but they were rubbish. Didn't do anything, just he probably should have got a yellow card, that big lad up top, number 9, but didn't do much. And just kind of like saw the first half pass them by. They were lucky, obviously, to be level at half time. Ishmael obviously wasn't happy with it at all, and he changed it at half time. I think he made 3 changes. And starting in the second half, um, they actually imposed themselves a bit more. I think they changed the system and they looked a little bit more dangerous. Even if Melia didn't have much more to do, they had a bit more territory in our half, and they looked to be getting up in our faces a bit more and a bit more sort of pressing from them. You know, saw Melier and Strauch and Cooper sort of play it around themselves a little bit. The press was a little bit higher from Watford, but I think it was all about that first goal, wasn't it? We were always on top. We were never really in danger of conceding, I didn't think. Obviously, they didn't have a shot on target till the 95th minute, which was a good save from Melier, which preserved the clean sheet, our fourth in a row. And Leeds United are now looking very, very good with unbeaten in 6, 4 clean sheets in a row. And like I said, unbeaten in 6, I think we're into 6th position after the results today. There were a couple of games in the Championship, weren't there? A couple of teams around us getting wins as well, Hull and Cardiff City. So I think we're 6th now, but don't quote me on it because I can't remember. And the table doesn't really matter anyway. I only really start taking this table seriously in this league probably around Christmas time. But if we're on like we are yesterday, then there's no reason why we can't be up there and sort of flying away with it, in a sense of flying away from third position. But let's wait and see because there's a little bit of a gap opening up now between sort of third and the rest of the group. I think Preston are third on 20 points. I think the next close to them, last time I looked, I think they're on 15. So there's a little bit of a gap. I think that's Hull on 15 with that win today. So a little bit of a gap between but there's plenty of time to go. There's plenty of games to go. Leeds United are getting into the rhythm now, aren't they? And it was all, like I said, it was all about that first goal and whether we could get it because it was perhaps in some fans' mind turning into that sort of Sheffield Wednesday performance where it was frustrating and we couldn't get a goal. But it was all about that first goal. And Jorginho Ruta, Jorginho Ruta was frustrating me in the first half, and so was Dan James. Ironically, Dan James was as well. But they count combined, didn't they, for the first goal? It's lovely play by Ruta because he gets away from a couple of challenges. Lays off James, who uses his pace down that right hand side to whip the ball into the penalty area, whip the ball across the penalty box, and there at the back post is your Perot, and he taps it in, and I'm there thinking, wow, if we had Bamford on the pitch, they'd probably have somehow managed to miss it, found a way to miss that shot. Because if you look at it, you think, it's an easy finish, but he's still got to control it because it kind of comes off his shin a little bit, and from there it can go anywhere. So he's got to keep his head down and control that ball and make sure it goes in, and he did that, and he gets his fourth for the season, and he's fantastic at. He didn't do much in the game, did he? But he don't need to. He just pops up with goals, and that's what he keeps doing, and I'm sure he'll keep doing it throughout the season and beyond. He's a quality buy. He's the difference between, for me, playoffs and automatic. He definitely is. And for me, he's probably the most potent and best striker in the league. He is. Who else is better than him? Let me know in the comments if you can think of one, because I cannot. He's so deadly. But he barely had a touch. I mean, I don't know the stats on his part, but he barely had a touch from what I was seeing. And deeper, he came very deep to get the ball, especially in that first half. But once he got that goal, the pressure is off then Leeds, and you could see immediately they were playing with a little bit more freedom, weren't they? And that's what happens. That's what happens. A goal is such a difference maker, isn't it? We were 1-0. We're at home. The crowd were up, and the crowd were always up. The crowd is always up at Ellen Road, isn't it? But I think you knew then. Yeah, we've got this game. Even in what 67th, 8th minute whenever he scored it. A couple of minutes later, obviously Byron makes it two. Yeah, fantastic goal. A great header, and obviously 2,000, is it 2,827 days since his last goal for Leeds in a 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest in December 2015, to that day yesterday where he scores in the 3-0 win against Watford on the 23rd of September 2023. So, long time between the two goals. Obviously, Sam left not long after that goal at Forest. He's now back, and he scores his first goal since he come back. I think he's only scored one goal in between those times. So it's a great header though, and he played really well. He was man of the match for me with Sam Byram. Up and down that left side. Um, he linked up well with Somerville at times, and he was just all round good. He was first to every ball. He was making sure Watford couldn't progress with neat little tackles and little passing, and he was very good, and obviously got the goal as well. Um, which is fantastic, and well done to him. Congratulations to him, because I believe him and his partner are now expecting a baby girl. So congratulations to them both. Top off a great week for Sam, and yeah, delighted for him to get that goal, and everybody else seemed to be as well, didn't they? So he makes it 2-0, and then the game's in the bag. But there is a moment where they have a chance. I think it's Bayo, isn't it? Their striker, where he should put them 2-1, shouldn't he, really? He drags it wide. If that goes in the net on like 78th minute, we're in for a little bit of a rollercoaster ride of last 10, 15 minutes or so. As it was, it went wide. And as it was, we finished them off. And you can watch this goal all day long, can't you? Jorginho Rua, like I said, he frustrated me in the second half. Sorry, in the first half. That was well and truly out of my mind by the time he was doing this, because he was so good in the second half. It was his second half performance, one of the many that really, really made sure of these 3 points and the goals to go with it as well. And I know Daniel Fark said after the game that he wanted to make sure that Georgie didn't embarrass the opposition with these flicks and tricks and stuff, and we've got to be respectful, we've got to be whatever. And I understand where he's coming from in a sense, but let him do his thing, man. Let him cook, as they say. Let him create some magic and do what he does, because there was many times in that game all round where he looked way too good for this division. And Watford, I know, were pathetic on the day, but he really made them look silly a few times with little flicks and Cruyff turns and things like this. And yeah, he played very well. Obviously, very much a confidence player. Looks to be enjoying himself now in Leeds, which is really, really good. Seems to have struck up a good partnership with Your Perot as well very quickly, which is great to see. A little bit of banter between the two of them as well on social media as well, I've seen. So that's good as well. That all, put it in the melting pot, put it in the cooking pot, and hope, and that all, out of it comes a good partnership, doesn't it? So Really impressed with Georgie on Saturday. Excuse me. Yeah, really impressed with him overall, and that in the last few minutes, and he's still working. He's still getting away from defenders, or Watford players, and he puts in that lovely ball, and you know that Jaden's going to finish it, don't you? He looks quality as well, by the way. Probably should have scored. I was annoyed with him a little bit. Was a few minutes before that, I think he probably should have scored. Curled it straight into the goalkeeper's hands, but there was no mistake this time. You knew he was going to score one on one with Bachmann. Then puts it in the corner. First goal on his first Ellen Road start, first Ellen Road game. Sorry, came on for Somerville, didn't he? In the second half at some stage, I think it was Somerville. He came on for, but yeah, fantastic, wasn't it? But that play from Jorginho Ruta, yeah, I mean, confidence player. Let's hope he can, but we said let's hope he can score a few goals. But if other people are scoring, he chips in with the odd one or two every now and again. It doesn't really matter who scores the goals, and you can see as a team they're a team again. They don't care who scores a goal. Those guys they're not bothered about who's scoring. It's all about the team, and they're all chipping in. Jorginho got an assist, Perot got a goal again, James had two assists, so he's playing his part. Two assists again. I think he got two assists last Sunday, didn't he? In 3-0 win at Millwall. So yeah, he's playing his part when he gets obviously he's got the opportunity now because Nonto was injured. Whether he continues with Anthony scoring as well, it's a good headache for Fark to have. Obviously, there's many games we need some good attacking options, and defensively I haven't really mentioned them, but fair play to them. Another clean sheet, four in a row now. Looked very solid they didn't really have to do very much at all. But I felt the whole back line. The only one I did have a question mark about was Jamie Shack. Like everybody, probably a little bit nervous about seeing Liam Cooper again from the start, but he's got experience, bags of experience as Liam Cooper. He knows how to marshal and see out a game at this level, doesn't he? Really, he's done it many times before, and yeah, happy for Melier in the goal to keep another clean sheet. A long may it continue, and long may this, unbeaten run, winning run. Let's go on a bit of a winning run. Can we do now, Leeds? That's the challenge, isn't it? Can we go to the next level and keep winning? Because we haven't won back-to-back games since last November. Can we do that at Southampton on Saturday? Let's hope we can. It's 12:30 kickoff. I'll be looking forward to that in the middle of the week probably. And keeping you posted with anything that goes on in between that. Maybe I might squeeze in a couple more videos maybe before that because it's all about the content. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. But if you've stuck with me for 18 minutes now, then thank you very much. Subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the way. Well, we've been on the way to 1,000 for a long time now, but it would be nice to hit something like that. Let's keep going. Let's build the channel, please, because, well, I say please, do it if you want to, do it if you like. But you never know what happens from there, dear. But thank you very much for watching. Great win, great result. We're all buzzing, and everybody's probably still buzzing and trying to get all the content they can out. Watch it all and drink it all in and enjoy it. Because we've had so bad form and bad results over the last 18 months, a year or so. So it's good to finally have some good football to talk about and to feel and win. And Ellen Road needs to be a fortress, and hopefully it will be going forward into the season. But thank you very much for watching. March on together. I'll see you on the next one.